Before starting off, you should know that all NPCs in the game have an aggro range. If you are inside this range when your attack lands, then the NPC will aggro you back. If you are not in this range when your attack lands, then the NPC will start backing away from you. This only applies to projectile-based attacks, as they have travel time, which allows you to move in the time that it takes for the projectile to travel. Melee attacks are instant, so this isn't applicable. The idea behind this technique is to bring an NPC to the edge of their aggro range and abuse the fact that they instantly stop combat if their target isn't in this range anymore. To figure out what this range is, drag the monster with you until they simply drop aggro. Once you found the tiles on which this happens, it's helpful to have room light ground markers turned on so you can mark them by shift right-clicking and selecting Mark Tile. You can see in this example how I aggro the Dark Mage, but because I step out of his aggro range, which is west of the marked tile, he resumes walking as soon as his attack animation finishes. Once you have the monster at the edge of his aggro range, you can start flinching him. The only thing that makes this work is that NPCs retaliate on the second tick after you attack them if they aren't already aggressive. Knowing this, you can step out just before they attack. Note, however, that this becomes harder to do the slower your weapon is, because you'll have to spend more time out of combat, and for each tick that you are out of the aggro range, the NPC has a chance to resume idling, which will most likely mean returning from the edge of the aggro range and fleeing from you. If that happens, you will have to drag him back to the edge, as you can see me do in the video. Short bows are where this method truly shines, as getting into the same 3-tick cycle that I'm doing in the video ensures that not only will you get maximum DPS, but the NPC will never stray too far from you because you will always be in the aggro range when your arrow hits him. You will see the guard start to flee at some points in the example, but because I step forward into his aggro range after I shoot an arrow, it ensures that when that arrow lands, I will be inside a range and the guard will want to retaliate. This flinching technique also works with magic, and you can see me trying to stay in some kind of cycle, but not being entirely successful. One thing to keep in mind when using magic is that splashes have no travel time, so if you happen to splash while you're outside the aggro range, then the NPC will instantly start fleeing. When that happens, all you have to do is step into the aggro range and cast a spell on the NPC again. Everything else is the same as with melee and range. Finally, here's another example of flinching the guard with a 3-tick melee weapon.